So, our next speaker, Mr. Hideto Kijima, but he called me Kiji, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. And we did communicate by mail this week, and he told me you'll see I'm easy to find. I look like Brad Pitt, so I recognized it immediately when he was the first person I met when I got to the convention center. So we have Kiji with us this morning. The title of his presentation is "Travel: The Opportunity for All: Accessible Tourism Travel Agency Research in Japan in 2012. Kiji is a wheelchair traveler. He has visited more than 100 countries, so I'm quite impressed. And in the world alone, is a writer, accessible consultant, a motivational speaker, Japanese, born in '73. He lives in Osaka. He had a spinal injury in a rugby accident. So since he's 17 years old, but still interested with sport because he's been watching a hockey game yesterday, isn't it? Okay. So in '97 to 2004, he has been involved in an advertisement agency, Dentsu, as a marketing planner. In 2004, he's been the chief executive of the Barrier Free Institute. In 2011, he's been involved in the Japan Accessible Tourism Center that we'll be talking about today. So I'm really proud to have you with us today. So Kiji, it's your turn. Okay.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Kiji. I'm from Japan. So this organization, Japan Accessible Tourism Center, is a kind of information center on website for only overseas tourists with disabilities, especially wheelchair tourists or elderly persons. So today, I would like to share Japanese situations. So in whole Japan, there are about 50 travel agencies, and 8 barrier-free tour centers. Let me explain some things. Each city has a tourist information center. For example, in city center and airport, central railway stations. So one of the parts, so one desk is a special services for disabled people and elderly people. So that section, so not every city is only, I know that 8 cities has a special sections for accessible tourism. And they always answer customers' questions, which hotel is possible to stay for wheelchair users, or which destination is kind or not. So, however, my city, Osaka, we don't have such barrier-free centers. One of the reasons is our city, Osaka, all metro stations are wheelchair accessible. So we are a lot of lower floor buses. It means so we don't need any information. So our all stations is accessible. That's it. So and then every hotel has at least 1 accessible rooms. So I mean, if the people travel by themselves, so we don't need any special information centers. So it is tended to have information centers for specially disabled people. It means that the cities is a low accessibilities. So, and other for volunteer groups, that is a charity base. So research about 2 years ago, the method is a mail survey, and we sent 55 organizations. So the 21 organizations answered. So response 38%, not so much. So I was so disappointed. We have 4 or 5 mega travel agencies. They have small sections for accessible tourism, but they didn't answer the question. Okay, first questions, and what is your business style? So outbound or inbound? So mainly inbound. The 7 organizations said we do business mainly inbound. So 12 organizations, they answered mainly outbound. So normally Japanese agencies do business only for outbound. So they take customers to the destinations. I want to say, so accessible tourism is very important. Inbound tourism is important for accessible tourism. So now we start inbound tourism now. Next question, so how much is the price? You know, so customers so think always how much the price is important. So my image, the tours, accessible tours always cost high and high. Answers, so very expensive tours is 35%, and a little bit high price, 45%. And some of the answers, low price, 20%. I'm surprised, so my image only expensive. Okay, destinations. So where is the destinations? So our questionnaire is 3 parts. One is day tour. This is the nearby cities. And the second one is a domestic overnight stay. And the last one is an overseas overnight, of course. So let's day tour 65 point. Day tour is a key of accessible tourism business for travel agencies. And I mean, normal mega agencies do business, domestic overnight tour or overseas tours. So they don't have not so much day tour business. So day tours, for examples, nursery homes. The people who stay in nursery homes, they take agency takes them to hot springs and good lunch and hanging on and then they come back until evening. That is the examples. And breakdown of the day tours. So who is the customer? Individual or group or package tours? So I mean, nursery home belong to the group. So individual is not only single persons, the couple or family trips. So there are many volumes of the group day tours. And the next breakdown of domestic tours overnight. This is the main volume is individual tours. So many families who has wheelchair grandparent or something, so they want to travel with families, so they ask the agency to go out. And the last one is an overseas trip. So unfortunately, the rate is so low. So I think everybody want to travel, go foreign trip, but reality is not so much tourists now. And next, what is a customers' disabilities? So we ask 14 categories. So full point, full mark, if they say we have many customers, full point is a 63 point. So first, blind people, 18, low vision, 15, deaf, 5, intellectual, 24. So wheelchairs, 42 point, and that is the highest rate. And next, physically can walk. It means they use a wheelchair. They are wheelchair users, but they can walk. They cannot walk a long distance, but they use wheelchair. And the electric wheelchair users, 22 point, not so much. And the dialysis, 11. And the elderly needing care, that is the heavier disabilities, at 31 point. And the elderly needing support, 33 point. Mainly agencies, the customers are mobility impairment. Okay, this is a summary. Many organizations belong to individual workers' personalities. I know many nice persons who is a coordinator, accessible tourism coordinator, so they always help people. But this is a problem for companies, so it just belongs to the personalities. And because accessible tourism needs always customized and detailed support, and always different. And it is not suitable for Japanese travel agency normal business style. So normal business style, they sell a lot the tours, high volume, and get low profit margins. So this is not suitable for accessible tourism. Accessible tourism is, my opinions, on good quality, low volume, and high profit returns. That is a dilemma in Japan. And the company fact, of course, companies need a profit to keep their business. So today, Japanese agent, their main target is elderly persons who has a lot of money. And yes, the business target is not only person with disabilities. The main target is for persons who has difficulties in travel. So that means more target, more wider. And next, I say again, nursing home day tours are stable income. So they want to travel each 3 months or each half months, each 6 months. That is a good volume, and they have each agency has customers, local customers in each place. And the accessible tourism in Japan, especially individual tourists, they do not travel in normal style. I mean, they travel, the purpose of travel is, for example, visit a grave, or they want to join the wedding ceremony grandparent, and they want to go to museum or some event. So that is not normal tourism industries. And also the problem, so many agencies tend to hide their information, which destination is good or not, because that is a business, and they know the good place, so they don't open to in public. So I'm so very angry, so please, so open the information in public. So that is why I do my organizations. Because people like me, so information is the most important for us. So how to success? The agent thinks communications is very important to success the travel in DR. Because travelers had better tell their needs clearly, and communicating destinations and finding the reasonable accommodation, reasonable solutions is the key of successful travel. So when they open their mind each other's, I think the travel become more happier. And travel is not a court, travel is not a war. So do not advocate the right, advocate the only. That make a concessions, make a concession each other. So communication is important. So some facilities have trauma of disabled claimers. So some of them become claimers, so it's our problem. So pay attention the way of telling the needs and the demands. And this is a free answer, so do you have any message to customers? I show examples. Be brave to speak out your wish and desires, and think what you want to do in your travel first. Somebody thinks which destination is accessible or not, forget it. So where do you want to go? That is the first. We should think fast. And enjoy travels, bring rain gears, and ask as soon as possible. Tell your physical condition correctly. Some families tell the disabled conditions not clearly because they sometimes tend to hide. So open mind is important. Also attendant or with families, for example, enjoy their trip by themselves. So we have some in Japan, some attendant system in local place. So if they use local attendant, so their families enjoy travel by themselves. And the last message, pay a bit more, you may get much satisfaction. And request to the destinations, don't give up to change the facilities accessible. Many things make it accessible is taking a cost much. But we want so just little things. So please make it step by step. So we hope. And accessible info is not open to public in many destinations. This is a problem. And even though it is accessible, so please disclose accessible info. And be flexible. Human support is an excellent alternative way. So it sometimes covers the lack of attractions facilities. And find a solution together, that is the communications, and don't refuse and exclude, of course, and give more choices of facilities and services, and don't be too much specialized, and be more natural. You know, sometimes the facilities like a hospital or nursing care home, we don't want in travel. Okay, this is the last slide, the way forward. Many customers have complained about the price, but the answer says they have some choices of low-cost travel. So that is using volunteer workers and asking barrier-free tourist information centers in each place. So there are various ways, but these ways does not reach the customers. I mean, the information is very important. And in Japan, we have a problem, another problem, the relationship between agent and volunteer workers and barrier-free tourist informations are not good because agent sells the trip high cost, and volunteer workers, they do work without any money, so they are conflict. So, but I think we should not compete the same pie. So we should make the pie more larger. So if the market is more bigger, so we can get many customers and a better budget. That is a key point. Yes, bon voyage.
Thank you very much, Kiji. You know what, listening to you, the first idea that comes to my mind, I think there should be a wide marketing plan to promote accessible tourism. I'm certainly not the first to talk about it, but there's certainly, you know, business opportunities everywhere, and it's not well known. And with the job you're doing, I think you're with sharing the pie instead of fighting for the pie, you know, I think you're right on the right point. We would accept a few questions, please, from the audience, if you have some questions for Kiji about Japan. If not, yes, we have one in the back. Let me bring you the microphone.
I think I can speak loudly.
Oh, okay, you have a good voice. Good.
All right.
Okay.
I just wanted to comment that many of the things you're talking about as being problem areas in Japan are also problems of travel agents and operators in the United States. Namely that people want what we call the low-hanging fruit. They want to simply put people on a cruise. They don't want to spend the extra time to actually explore the destination, find the information, and handle the client's needs if it's anything out of the ordinary or would be more burdensome for them. I think part of that is, you know, having more information readily available, so to make that trip planning easier, because it is hard to charge a lot more. We do have, you know, limits to what you can spend, and that factors in. We have the same issue you have in that sense.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there's a question in the back.
I also understand why it's okay.
Okay, I trust you.
I'm also a broker in wheelchair, electric wheelchair, but I travel only 30 countries, not so much. I just wanted to insist on the importance of information. I was in Japan last June by myself, without an agency, and this was possible only because of the website of Kiji, accessible travel in Japan. Because I had all the practical, precise information I needed, and I could organize my trip by myself through Japan Railways, finding information on hotels and seats to the sea, and my trip was just a success. So it's possible, but we just need the right and precise information. Thank you, Kiji, for doing that in Japan.
Welcome to Japan.
You've traveled a lot, Kiji. Do you know, are there similar opportunities in other countries, such as what you've done with your website in Japan? Have you seen it somewhere else, in other countries?
Yes, some of them, but I give the information that like travelers from the view of my travel experience. So, what information I want. So, but sometimes in English website they tend to only the sentence. So I mean that not everybody, like me, not everybody speaks English, right? So world travelers, so some of them don't speak English so much. So now I try to put many photos of the tourist destinations. Photo is easy, so if we take a large toilet or lamps, so it is no description, so I mean, I want more photos of each destinations. So that is one of the keys.
Okay, thank you so much, Kiji, for your presentation.